Former President Trump is indicted by a New York grand jury. We'll find out how students are reacting to the historic news.
I'm here outside Dodger Stadium, pretty far out Dodger Stadium, where they're getting ready for the game. I'll be back later.
And hardcore Dodger fans celebrated the start of their favorite season with a game day tailgate. See It Live starts now.
We begin with breaking news. A New York grand jury formally charged former President Trump in connection with hush money payments made to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Hi, I'm Payton May.
And I'm Hannah Joy. Today's action is historic. Mr. Trump is the first former president to face criminal charges. The former president is accused of paying porn stars to keep quiet about their sexual encounters. Within hours after the indictment was handed down, California Representative Kevin McCarthy tweeted that Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg has, quote, irreparably damaged our country. Bragg's office put out a statement that it's working with Mr. Trump's counsel on a surrender and arraignment date. We caught up with the students for their reaction to the news.
I think he did deserve it, though I feel like as a country we've kind of been stuck on this issue for a long time, so I'm glad we're kind of moving forward, you know what I mean, with the indictment.
It's going to make prosecutors more open to looking into other presidents, being more open. I think generally there's been sort of this precedent not to prosecute presidents or not to look into any potential criminal dealings. I think it'll make it more open, I think, for both sides even along the political spectrum.
I do think he deserved it. The Stormy Daniels situation does seem like it's at least true.
The former president has denied any wrongdoing and calls the indictment, quote, political persecution. He is expected in New York within the next week to face these charges.
Turning now to another big story here in LA and across the country. It's opening day. Let's go live to outside a Dodgers bar where Patrick Warren has more on the men in blue. Sounds like we'll have to come back to
Diamondbacks tonight at 7. Catch the game if you're still trying to get over there. Last season was a bit of a disappointment for Dodger fans, although the team did win a franchise record of 111 games. They lost early in the postseason, and they're pretty upset about it. But it'll still be a good season. I think Dodger fans are really excited. They're a heavy favorite to Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. They're an 8-1 favorite. As Walker Buehler had to have surgery on his throwing arm, which could keep him out for the entire 2023 season. Well, less than an hour remains before the game, and I'm going to go grab my seat, so I'll throw it back to you in the studio. For Annenberg Media, I'm Patrick Warren.
Not many people know that the official Dodger blue is Pantone 294. A group of friends in LA named their fan club after the color. Reporter Marissa Rio takes us to the group's opening day tailgate.
Fan Club Pantone 294 took Take Me Out to a Ball Game, Take Me Out with the Crowd to a whole new level. They celebrated the official start of MLB season with an opening day tailgate at LA State Historic Park near the Dodger Stadium. The event had food, drinks, music, and cornhole to hype fans up before watching their favorite boys in blue.
They mean everything to me. They are community, they are heart, they are inspiring, they're our culture, and it's also just the way I grew up just watching baseball, and so they're family to me too.
Once I went to the first, I said I'll never miss one ever again. COVID year we missed, but that was it because of COVID. But other than that, haven't missed one since.
I am just so excited because it's a new season, and it's our year, 2023.
This is an annual thing for me, so this is a day I take off automatically, and I always follow Pantone wherever they're going. So I'm excited. I prepare months in advance.
Again, this is just a tradition that goes back to my grandfather. So even him being in Mexico and rooting for the Dodgers, you know, with my mom watching the games. So just it's a generational thing.
Pantone 294 is full of diehard Dodger fans. They even travel to away games together.
So many fans showed up today, some as early as 12 o'clock, excited for tonight's big game. I mean, look at this turnout. It's raining and people are still partying and having a good time. And there's more to come. Over 1,000 people signed up for today's tailgate. I spoke to the founder and he said that he could have never expected Pantone 294 to ever get this big.
Pantone started in 2009. You know, it started with the trip in San Francisco, and throughout the years, word of mouth, we've just grown. We've used zero money in marketing. So fast forward now, we average anywhere between 500 and 2,000 people per trip, and we average anywhere between 10 and 20 trips a year. For me, it's people having fun. For me to see people smile.
The tailgate ended at 5 p.m., 2 hours before the first pitch of the Dodgers' 2023 season. For more information on the fan base, you can find them on Instagram at Pantone 294. For Annenberg Media, I'm Marissa Rio.
A lot of people find the average 3-hour runtime of a baseball game too long to watch. This season, the MLB made changes to the rules, like a new pitch clock to speed up the game. A reporter from NBC Sports Chicago thinks these new rules will change America's favorite pastime.
Well, I can tell you this, the pitch clock is one of the biggest changes Major League Baseball has had, not in years, to even say decades is a little bit of an understatement. I mean, this is a massive change to the game because since this game was invented, there's never been a clock. Anybody who watches baseball, anybody who plays baseball, anybody who covers baseball, all of a sudden has more free time in their lives. Or if not free time, there's more time available to do other things. We are seeing massive, dramatic changes in game times.
According to Chuck, the pitch clock has already shortened games by an average of 30 minutes. Other rule changes include a more efficient pitch calling system and a 4-inch increase in base size.
Vin Scully called games for the Dodgers for 67 seasons, beginning in 1950 and ending in 2016. But now, a new generation of broadcasters are becoming legends in their own right.
It's time for Dodger Baseball!
His voice was known as the voice of Dodger Baseball. Since his final season in 2016, Joe Davis took over as the lead announcer. This season, Davis is joined by Stephen Nelson, who will announce over 50 games. An associate editor for Dodgers Nation says the Dodgers have been lucky after losing Scully.
Vin Scully was really Dodger baseball himself. I think Dodger fans looked forward to hearing Vin Scully call games just as much as they looked forward to watching the games themselves. It's definitely still a different voice, and it's definitely different having no Vin Scully there, but the Dodgers are very lucky to have so many different incredible broadcasters who are going to kind of fill his shoes as best as they can.
Orel Hershiser, Nomar Garcia-Pera, Eric Carros, Jessica Mendoza, Tim Neverett, and Dontrell Willis will all spend some time in the broadcast booth this season.
Don't want to deal with parking at the game? Dodgers fans headed to the ballpark can catch a free ride. Annenberg Media's Olivia Tyler has more on how it all works.
Anyone who's enjoyed a game at Dodger Stadium knows the traffic is unavoidable. Since 2010, LA Metro has provided an alternative option.
They're particularly attractive to people who are budget conscious and want to take advantage of an easier way and a more cost-effective way to watch these games. Dodger Stadium Express has about 17 buses that operate the service. 12 of those buses are at Union Station and another 5 are at Harbor Gateway.
This is the Dodger Express's 13th year providing free Metro rides to the stadium. Before the pandemic hit, 307,000 Angelinos were using the service. Today, regardless of the rain, fans are here dripped in Dodger blue and white for their express ride to opening day.
Last year, we finally became season ticket holders. So we went to about 38 out of 40 games, 41 games, and it was just convenient at a Union Station. just hop on the bus and bunch of Dodger fans, drops you off right in front of the gate.
You don't have to worry about leaving early because, you know, you want to beat the traffic. So sometimes you want to leave an inning early, and this way you don't have to.
It's safe. There's security at both ends. The ticket prices for parking has definitely gone up quite a bit. So it is a big cost savings for us, too.
Just knowing that you're around people, they're excited as you to go see the game. Definitely, yeah, it's a good vibe.
The Express Ride is offered every home game. It begins 90 minutes before game time, and the last service ends 45 minutes after the final out or 20 minutes after post-game events. For Annenberg Media, I'm Olivia Tyler.
In need of new Dodgers merch? You're in luck. Renowned tattoo artist and creative Mr. Cartoon has partnered with the team to create exclusive opening day t-shirts. The shirts feature players Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Julio Urias. Cartoon got his start on the streets of Los Angeles, originally learning how to tattoo from a friend. Today, his work can be found on some of music's biggest stars, including Eminem, Beyonce, and Dr. Dre. Cartoon's former apprentice spoke to his work and his influence on the industry.
He introduced me to my passion through looking at his work. What Cartoon has over everybody is what every artist is after, and that's originality. It's originality, it's style, and it's the thing where if you see it, you know immediately who did it. There is no question.
Cartoon says this collaboration is inspired by his city of Los Angeles, its culture, and of course, his home team. The shirts will be exclusively available in stadiums starting today until they run out.
MLBBro.com is an organization that covers black and brown major leaguers. It also gives black players a voice and hopes to reinvigorate the interest in baseball in the black community. The organization hopes to nurture and develop the next generation of black baseball writers through mentorship and internship opportunities.
Some notable USC standout baseball players have taken their talents to the major league. Lars Nuthbar is an outfielder with the Cardinals. Garrett Stubbs is a catcher for the Phillies. Aaron Boone is the Yankees manager, and Mark Pryor is the pitching coach for the Dodgers.
The USC baseball program has had plenty of great players in years past. Will Carmadella is live in Studio A to break down how the 2023 team is shaping up so far.
Under first-year head coach Andy Stankiewicz, USC baseball has experienced a program revival. In their 3 conference series so far, the Trojans have taken 2 of 3 from both Stanford and Cal and swept the Washington State Cougars this past weekend. The team's 3 series wins so far in the Pac-12 have already surpassed their 2022 mark. The Trojans have been a deadly offensive force this year. They lead the Pac-12 in runs scored. Center fielder Austin Overn has been the quintessential leadoff man for the Trojans. In his freshman year at USC, he has compiled a .347 batting average at the top of the lineup. Overn is also a wide receiver on the football teams and brings wideout speed to the diamond. His 9 triples lead the NCAA and is already just 1 shy of the program record. While Overn sets up the inning, right fielder Cole Gabrielson provides the power. The senior leads the Trojans in 2023 with 7 home runs and 28 runs batted in. Gabrielson only played in 6 games in all of 2022, but has started all 24 matchups so far this year. Overn and Gabrielson are 2 of the 4 Trojans with batting averages over 300. USC baseball finished 2022 with an 8-22 record and was one of 3 teams to miss the Pac-12 tournament, making this year's turnaround even more remarkable. The team currently sits in a tie for second place at 7-2, 1 game back in the loss column of first place Arizona State. They'll be back in action on the road this weekend as they take on 2-7 Utah. Let's send it back to Studio C with Payton.
Losing our baseball field to make way for an Olympic swimming pool, USC's Dudo Field will be torn down in 2027 to build the pool for LA's 2028 games. Dado Field first opened its gates 49 years ago today. After the Olympic Games, the pool will be demolished and a brand new baseball field will be built at the same location. The founder and director of USC Annenberg's Institute of Sports says he thinks the idea is wasteful and not cost effective.
It's the basic concept is unbelievably thoughtless with cash to me. This is, we have a terrible homeless problem in Los Angeles, the greater Los Angeles region. We have all sorts of other infrastructure challenges. Why would you plan on throwing money away? I'm concerned about the commitment on the back end to fund and rebuild Dado Field in a way that's really going to be appropriate for the baseball team.
The Utangsu Aquatic Center, which hosted events in the '84 games, will just serve as a warm-up spot.
If you like to create and manage your own team, you can get in on the fantasy baseball action. Annenberg Media's Michael Meatlinger has more on why it's not as popular as another fantasy league.
If the next fantasy football season is a little too far away, you may just want to check out this. Fantasy Baseball, an MLB companion to the uber-popular fantasy football leagues that run during the NFL season, is next at bat. One former fantasy manager told Annenberg Media about his love of the game.
I mean, honestly, it's just a lot of fun. You know, you get together a group of guys, you know, you make your picks and see how it goes. But, you know, just the competition and the camaraderie are big reasons why I played in the past.
But despite fantasy baseball being offered on a number of popular platforms, including ESPN, it hasn't been able to draw the same audience that fantasy football delivers.
Fantasy football is in a whole nother league. You know, all my roommates play it. Everyone you talk to who's relatively familiar with football is in the league. But baseball, I think it's a lot more niche. A lot less people are interested in baseball, and it's kind of hard to develop that interest if you haven't been playing the game for a while.
In a 2022 survey, the Fantasy Sports and Gaming Association reported that over 50% of adults participated in fantasy football. Fantasy baseball was less than half of that. But fantasy sports are on the rise, and fantasy baseball may be too.
We do more business with fantasy baseball. We're on the few sites. Can it touch football? I don't think so.
Fans are even able to pick up fantasy baseball after the season has started. So if you're looking to get involved, make sure to tune into opening night, grab a few friends, draft some players, and hopefully you'll knock it out of the park. For Annenberg Media, I'm Michael Mellinger.
Hungry? Well, you certainly will be after this. We've got the deets on all the new dishes and returning classics at Dodger Stadium. But first, we wanted to know, what's your go-to ballpark snack?
I think my go-to is hot dogs, but I do love the little nacho trays that they give you with the cheese. It's a little tacky, but it's good. Usually just the popcorn and pretzels, just the snacks. I feel like they're a classic baseball, game experience. But obviously the hot dogs too are so good.
I love getting the Dodger dog. I think it's fun and super spirited.
Food prices at ballparks across the country have been on the rise in recent years. In 2022, a Dodger dog would run you nearly $5, nachos $10, and a pizza topping in at over $12. As we wait on 2023 prices, we asked you whether you'll stick with your favorites or venture out to something new this year.
I would probably try some of the new food, depending on the reviews, but I like the classic all-American baseball food.
I don't think personally I would step outside of my usuals. I feel like I would probably just go and get a regular hot dog or a soda or something.
I think it's a really good idea for people that would be interested in it, but I like my regular baseball game snacks.
And we do have one more thing to say, and it's 1,
2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Thank you for watching See It Live. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I am Hannah Joy.
And I'm Payton May. For more coverage, watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Good night.
Good night.